Hi guys, how are you doing today?
Hello.
Great, how you doing?
Yeah, very good, thank you. I wonder if we could just start by explaining a bit more about your character, starting with Andre and working down.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Andre. I play Christian Ozera. He's a Royal Moroi, but unlike the other Royal Moroi, he's a little bit of an outcast. I think Christian is a very complicated, complex, and layered soul who has his walls up quite high when we first get to see him. But I think through the character interactions he has and through the people he meets and the experiences he gets, he starts to let himself be more vulnerable and open, and we get to see different sides of him.
Great. Hello, I'm Kieron Moore, and I play Dmitry Belikov, who is a half human, half vampire, damp-haired, lethal machine of a guardian. So I'm a guardian. So my role in society is to protect the Royal Morois and the Moroi from our deadly enemy of the Strigoi. So that's basically my role in society, and I think Dmitry takes that role beyond seriously. He's seen both sides of that fate, and I think he's been molded by it. And then our story comes along, and we'll see what the man underneath that role is like. I hope we see that.
I'm Andrew Liner. I play Mason Ashford. He is a Dompier. He's a novice. Next year he would be a guardian. I mean, like Kieran said, he is made to protect. He is a half vampire, I guess you could say. Doesn't got the fangs, doesn't need to suck on blood, can be out in the sun, but also has like the strength and the speed and the agility and the awareness. So all the cool stuff, really. But
I mean, I'd have liked the fangs. I'm not gonna lie. I could have budged on the fangs.
But yeah, I think that that's kind of who Mason is, a fun-loving, caring fighter, Yeah.
Amazing, because I was just about to ask what's so fun about playing vampires and vampires, because I've heard the outfits are great, you get superpowers. What is really good about playing these characters?
I think the realness under them as well. Yeah, there's like that. I think that's what I showed us beautifully. It's like there's a lot of attributes that it's mythological. Is it?
Yeah.
Say that? Mythological. I'm trying. But there's real stories underneath them things, which is great, which drew us all to our characters independently. The stories that they tell, the complexity, like you say, with each of our characters shines in its own right. But then, of course, it's also pretty cool when you're not on set that you go and learn a fight choreography and you're doing things that you never thought you could even try to do. It's good fun. It's really good fun. Night shoots are interesting as well. They're really interesting.
Very fascinating, those night shoots.
Cool. I can imagine a lot of spooky stuff happened because the sets and the castles and the location looks amazing.
I think we had a motto at one point, and why are we filming a vampire show in old churches? Because someone doesn't want us here.
We had a whole experience. It's funny because every place we shot was real. It was a real castle, a real training ground that we had, and we filmed in a real Spanish Civil War rundown town. So spooky for sure.
Everything is history.
It must have been hard to come back to like real life then afterwards, because you were playing these like ancient creatures and in this like historic town.
Monasteries and I'm walking in Dresden, bit different. It's crazy. It's mental.
It was like a Spanish bubble that we were in for like 8 months.
Sure.
And coming out of that, I would be walking back home in my streets of Toronto, and I'd be like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Like,
I'm a Royal Moroi.
I don't even, exactly. Why am I out in sunlight and it's not burning me? It's like it was such a good experience, and it was such a unique experience, and coming back to real life was a little difficult. I missed these guys.
I miss it. We create our own little world, right? And hopefully
that's amazing. Because there's a really interesting thing about class structure and royalty here that feels quite prevalent in the times we live in now. So speaking of that, did you bring any modern influences into the show?
Yeah, for sure. I think, with a lot of, Black Lives Matter going on, anti-Semitism going on, a bunch of, the world we live in today, really. I think our show holds up a mirror to society in a fantastical way. with all the classism we see, with the Royal Moroi being above the non-Royal Moroi, and the non-Royal Moroi being above the Dompiers, and the Dompiers really being second-class citizens and just someone that's going to die for the Moroi, you know. So I think that's something really, really great that Julie and Marguerite did with the show.
Everyone's truth is told, which gives you a different insight into how these things can arise in the first place. And I think it's interesting to challenge the audience through a veil of a fantasy world and hold up these issues that I think people will turn on the show and maybe not expect that. And they'll walk away thinking, well, that's quite resembling to this issue. And our approach to that is with delicacy 100%. And with ruthlessness, I think, as well, though. I think we've attacked what we think is worth challenging, right?
Yeah, I think everyone can take something away from this. Like, I think the story that we're telling is really about identity and how we identify ourselves, and maybe in some ways how we shouldn't let other things identify who we are and what we can do. And I think we tell that very beautifully, and I guess we'll have to let people see it, but I think people will really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. Good luck with the rest of the show. I can't wait for people to see it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Lovely day.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!